The seventh component of the administrative scale is called orders. That's a very well-known word, and nonetheless we're going to define it and look it over. An order is a verbal or written direction to carry out a program step or apply general policy. Some program steps are so simple that they are themselves an order, or an order can simply be a roughly written project. L. Ron Hubbard. There was a time when I took to independently studying this material, the administrative scale, and at that time it seemed strange to me that this component, orders, would even be included. But then I realized a very important thing, and understood without a doubt that it's not by accident that this component, number 7, is even included in the list of 10 on the administrative scale. I'm going to try to illustrate this principle to you and why it's quite important. Now look, let's consider this. Imagine that it's Saturday, your day off. You're sitting in front of the television, cup of coffee in hand, and watching, your favorite show or soccer or whatever it may be. You have a task to do, and that task runs like this. Do a thorough job of cleaning your apartment today. So, this task involves its own project. That is, the task is to clean the apartment and do a thorough job of cleaning. And the project would be the following. For example, vacuuming, watering the flowers, changing the linen, dusting, washing the floors, washing the windows, all sorts of things. And you, sitting before your TV on a Saturday morning, know that you have this task at hand and that it has to be done. And there is a very important point here. Getting started. And getting started probably has crucial importance. So you're sitting with your cup of coffee and your wife tells you, "Come on, when are you going to start working?" "Just wait," you say. "Let me finish watching soccer and then have another cup." So there is this moment in time when you have to start, but you can't quite do it. And then all of a sudden, you give yourself an order and you say to yourself, "That's it, let's go." And you get up. And when you get into the actual doing of it, then it sort of hinges one thing to the next and gets going and sort of flows. But the starting point is a very important point. Do you know why some person is an executive and the other is not? Why someone is an owner and the other is not? Someone is simply a subordinate. That's quite a complicated question, and you could find many reasons for it. Why it's this way or that way, etc. But the main point here is this. Remember, I was telling you about this aberration in getting from point A to B. Well, the more a person can take responsibility, the more you could say he's able to walk a straight line. Why does an executive have to give an order to his subordinate? Doesn't the person himself understand that he has to start on whatever the task is? Vacuuming, dusting, or whatever it is? Does he himself know that? He knows. So what's getting in the way? Here's what I want to tell you. When we were talking about the upper components of the administrative scale, like purposes, long-term goals, org policy, etc. Well, that all has to do with the future. And if I ask you, do you like to dream? I do. And when we dream, I'm sure you'd like to as well. But when you're dreaming, what kind of mood are you in? You're peeking into the future. And usually when a person glances into the future and thinks of something pleasant, he'll get a smile on his face. He's imagining, anticipating some desired event or other. So, when we're talking about the upper components of the admin scale, all of it has to do with dreaming. In a way, thinking of something very pleasant. But when it comes down to actions, here the emotions are not quite the same. And so, setting the targets, setting the goals, interesting and motivating one's staff and oneself is the business owner's hat. And he comes out onto the stage and proclaims, "My friends, great things await us. We have to conquer this and conquer that. And just imagine how successful we'll be and how much money you will have. And we're actually going to conquer the whole world." And everyone there is sitting and listening, "Wow, cool, totally, I agree, I want this." And then the owner says, "So, are we going to make it happen?" And everyone says, "Yes, we're going to make it happen. I believe in you." And he says, and that's the point when he walks off the stage. And instead of the owner, the executive director walks out and says, "Did you hear what he just said? Good. Let's snap and pop." It's to set the goals, and someone has to set everyone in motion to realize these goals. And so, this component of the administrative scale, called orders, is quite important from this viewpoint. Okay, next component.